All right, Mary Ann, you want to call a roll, please?
Mr. Burchett?
Here.
Ms. Truska? Dr. King? Mr. Moon?
Here.
Mr. Walsh? Mr. Welch?
Here.
Mr. Cindy?
Here, showing we got 4 members, that's a quorum.
Mr. Welch is on the way, he's looking for a parking place.
Okay.
Walsh.
Sorry. All of you watching from the on TV tonight are wondering why we have computers in front of us. Later on in the meeting, pretty soon, we're going to be talking to you about a new way that we are, the RB board is going green, and they're going to be a presentation on it. It's called Board Book. So let's start with our discussion and information items. We have a FOIA request. Kevin?
Yes, we do. If you go to page 4 on the board book, this is from Mr. John Lapp. It was a request for information regarding our taxi services and all contracts over $25,000. And then you can see our responses attached to that as well.
Okay. All right. The next item up is our board book presentation. So Kevin, you want to give a little insight of what we're doing?
Yeah, I think just to be on the safe side, we should probably
Wait a few minutes.
wait a few minutes.
Okay.
Because I'd hate to have to go through it a second time.
Okay.
Construction audit, I think we probably should
wait
wait
also.
on that.
Yeah.
Superintendent's report.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring the board up to speed. I had a couple things included in your weekly updates. A communication tool, a communication plan which discussed the communication strategies that I've been using so far this year, and some things that I've been kind of revising as we've gone through this year. Also, it included a performance or purchase service contract review tool, and Mr. McGinnis will go through that later. We had a lot of agenda items on tonight, but we only have one meeting in June and one meeting in July, and some of these are more formalities that need to be covered. So hopefully we'll be able to get through everything tonight.
Okay. Since Tim is back, do you want to start? Then you want to go to board book now?
I think we can do the monthly budget report.
Sure. Okay, monthly budget report.
Okay, you have in your packet the report. Our operating revenue for the month was actually higher than I had thought it was going to be. Our operating revenue was $578,000. The monthly revenue from all funds was $626,000. We received $190,000 in real estate taxes, and then I highlighted some of the other items that were included in there. For the year, for all funds, we're at $28,855,231. That's 98% of our budget. Expenditures for the month were $3.7 million. The reason that's so much significantly higher than normal is that by contract we pay all 10-month employees. We pay out all of their payroll. In this case, in the month of May. So the month of May included 6 payrolls, which is the reason that number is significantly higher. Correspondingly, June will be much lower because of the fact that we'll only be doing payroll for the 12-month employees. The operating fund balances at the end of May were about $6.5 million. It's an increase of a little over $700,000 from the beginning of the year. That number is obviously going to drop in June because we will obviously still have some expenses, but our revenue we're not going to receive much in terms of revenue. One of the things that we wanted to talk about a little bit at this point was the contract tool that was sent out to you in the weekly update that you received. This is a tool that we put together during the past year. We highlighted all of the contracts that we have, the educational fund contracts, the operations fund contracts, and put in there the length, the expiration dates for all the contracts that were multi-year contracts. A lot of those contracts for some of the operational things, such as Orkin and the elevator inspection at Rego, those are all annual contracts. Those are noted on the bottom. It also shows you in there if the approval of the contract has to come before the board, or if it's done by the administration, and if there needs to be any attorney review of these contracts.
Which update is that in?
This Friday.
That one, last Friday? Last Friday is
The
weekly
8th.
update.
Do you have a hard copy of it for them if they don't have that with them?
Is it on board book?
Yeah.
Is it on- I thought it was on board book. I can copy of it.
What
No,
page
it's
is it
I'll
on
make a
board
copy,
book?
but no, I
No,
don't
it's
have
okay.
one.
It wouldn't be in that agenda, you'd have to open up a different meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've used this to review a little over half of the contracts, the ones primarily that came due in 2012 and the annual contracts. So we're using that tool, and we're refining it as we go along, and trying to improve it. If there's any questions or comments, suggestions, we'd be happy to hear those and try and incorporate that.
Okay. Is that all, Tim?
That's all I had on that, the budget update.
The tax bills were in the news recently. Is that a done decision, or what do you understand?
My understanding is the tax bills are going to go out the first week of July. They're going to be due August 1st. So all of the funds that we have, with the exception of the education fund, will have enough balance at the end of the year to carry us through July and into August. But the education fund doesn't have a positive balance now, so we have to make that transfer of working cash later in the agenda to allow us, to have enough money in that fund to be able to pay the expenditures.
And that's guaranteed that the tax bill receipts will be coming in August 1st.
That's the due date that I've heard
Okay.
that they're going to be, yes.
All right, any questions on the budget for Tim?
Tim, where are you
Yeah.
at in the budget?
Only thing on the budget
budgeting
update is we're
process?
going to distribute that to all of you at the end of June. It's going to be presented as the tentative budget at the July board meeting, but you'll have it for a couple of weeks prior to that. And you can either call me or email questions to me, and I'll get those answered by the time we get to the board meeting. But
We've had some questions from board members, just like how are we building our IT budget, how are we building our capital development budget? You'll include that in the tentative budget
in the assumptions.
assumptions, so that there's some general ideas on how that is being done?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've met with all the department chairs. They've worked up their budgets. I've reviewed all those with Pam. We've made some adjustments to the budgets they turned in. So that's basically the.
Okay.
Will there be some support for how you're going to calculate the property tax revenues, like a sheet to show how you did it,
Yes,
instead of just a number? Since we
Yes.
seem to have had a problem this year with it.
I can do that.
Any other questions for Tim? Okay, let's go back up to, do we want to go back up to board book now?
It's the board's choice, and Dr. Keene and Laura aren't here. They're two that
Are we expecting them?
I was under the.
There's no place to park, that's why I was late. They're gonna drive through the whole thing, find out there's not a spot, and I have to go find a spot somewhere in Brookfield and walk there and back, so.
Okay. All right, well, we can keep on moving on, and we'll come back to board book and the construction audit. So let's go to visitor statements.
Mike, do you want to let the contact from board book just know we got to hold tight?
I'm gonna chat with them right now.
Okay.
Okay.